You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Oh my God!
Now tuned into the greatest.
This bloke is one angry, naughty, aggressive crocodile.
Crocodile, real new. They should know.
Real DJ.
Don't just come up here and play tune and press buttons.
Real DJ.
Oh, when you're, yes, when
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup.
Crocodile, real new. They should know.
Yo, this is Lamar picking up DJ Crocodile playing the best in party joints.
Okay, party people in the house, you're about to witness something you've never witnessed before.
Well, it is a weeping and a mourning and a national thing in the dance hall, and who know how big we run from them come when them it comes to my sound, which is the champion sound. The beauty that blows the many times, and it's still a one more time left for the amount of stripe on our shoulder.
You man, assassin, I don't be a man. Yo, watching the crocodile, let them know this, you know.
Alright, you hear me? Alright, go on, you play now. Thank God, love me and the people have done love. Everything okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. In the place to be.
Crocodile, listen up. A crocodile is
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio UK.
yes, good to go.
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup. Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup.
We're come to show you how to do the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to teach you how to do the king style. Boom.
5 plus 5, what we call that? 10. Bringing good vibes everywhere, that's 10. If you use a pad, you should really use a pen. If we're good pals, then we're probably good friends. Peace to my area, some would say, hey, never feel inferior.
You heard?
Come again. See, come again. And you were rocking with the kingdom. Murderous musical melodies, vocals with potpourri choking your cheek. Hopefully you get more than quotes from me, showing you how it's supposed to be. Roasted rotisserie hot, yes, cause this'll be nothing less than naturally cold wizardry. Actually we call this the king step, so flash up your lighters and come boogie with the best. Listen,
we're come to show you how to do the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to show you how to do the king style. Left, right, the king style. We're come to teach you how to do the king style. Boom. Yeah, well alright. It's them on the road, I want the massive world right. It's beer vibes all night, the boom down the mic. When we come in the place and take out the mic, we do the thing right. Cause all the man were bust lazy, they supposed to rate me. Cause the whole of them's my babies, but my picnic them frustrate me. It's mad. They got me like some deadbeat dad. Like we never set the pace and come to secure the bag with the niceness. Anywhere we there, that's where the vibes is. We don't want a nice to leave you lifeless. Take a look a gal and check our wife is. Clear to me that what them boy they free ain't nothing like this. We do it for the righteous, it's for the techers. When you want the boom, then come checkers. Never let no guy come disrespect us. Anything I try, come test me, get peppered. Plus we got this new dance now, it's for the steppers. We come to show you how to do the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Left, right, the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Left, right, the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Yeah, left, right, the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. It's the kingdom. Every style you hear, we bring them. Dash with that emo rap and bin them. I'm back on my kingdom sound system. Spitting acid like aliens. Got my vibranium vibes from subterranean. Young king, killmongers, yeah, we raising them. Taking favors them, they've got all of our DNA in them. Guns blazing, I'm aiming them at your cranium. You live English, you ain't saying I'm naming them. Taking back the art and artifacts, we're reclaiming them. I want the gold and platinum and titanium. Your highness, the highest title, numero uno. Busting up like Hugo and push straight like true sumo. A bright funeral, trying to play me like Ludo. Little means forward, gunshot means Ludo. Listen, we come to show you how to do the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Left, right, the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Left, right, the king step. We come to show you how to do the king step. Left, right, the king step. We come to teach you how to do the king step.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I know you're looking at me like that. What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for? Welcome aboard. Yeah, all right. Welcome everybody listening this way, north, south, east and west, officially rocking with the best. This is the Saturday Soup Show on iLive UK, bringing you all the organic goodness you need on a Saturday afternoon, like Saturday Soup is supposed to do. DJ Croc from One Nation in the hot seat alongside Sims Mode.
Walk one.
Tell me now. Gotta begin by saying big shout out goes out to DJ Deep Sound.
Yeah.
For the last 2 hours. We hear you, bro.
Yeah.
We hear you. We still hear you. All right. Catch him by next week. Same time, same place between the hours of 2 and 4. Between now and 6 p.m. What we got cooking up in at the pot?
Well, we got news in brief. Obviously, today it's the People's Vote March that's taking place right now.
That's just finished, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it's actually finished, but
just
when I was
people that walk with them flag and them banana kind of something. I wonder where
when I was
from.
on my way to the station, it's very gridlock out there. Like buses are on diversion and people are just end up walking down to wherever they need to go. So
if you're travelling around central London on public transport, be mindful. You might want to plan ahead before you step out.
Yeah. Try and see if you can take the underground if possible.
Yeah, because them unruly people out there.
Yeah, but then again, also this week with the Extinction Rebellion, they went to East London, innit? To Canning Town Station and decided to stand on top of the tube.
Okay.
To disrupt people who were going to work. And obviously...
It didn't go down too well.
No, it didn't. They was not pleased at all and there was chucking stuff at him.
So are you with them or are you not for them?
I'm on the fence with that.
Nah, man, come on for the fence, man. We're not dealing with fence.
No, the thing is, I don't like how they're disrupting everybody's life.
So how do you think they should do it?
Just keep it central, innit? Don't be branching out to east.
Just don't come to my ends here. Do it somewhere else, bruv. You get me? All right, so we got the news in brief.
Yeah.
Also doing some features. We're still talking about, this is Black History Month, remember?
Yes, it is.
Not that it's supposed to be 1 month alone, but we're going to represent right here on the show.
Yeah.
We haven't done a TV or film guide or review, I should say, for a long time.
Actually, I've got a recommendation.
Okay.
That's coming up later on.
All right, cool. I've got some as well in terms of the TV guide and film as well. I'm going to be talking about the Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang Saga, American Saga, that's out now.
Oh, have you watched that yet?
So we're going to be talking about that and more. So yeah, we got that. We got the gig guide as usual. Lots and lots of too much gigs. Sims, I think you've already posted the gigs on the Saturday Soup page.
I'm going to post it up during the show.
So we got loads of gigs. Kingdom, Chronics, Coffee, Shalimar. There's too many, but I'll give you the names, more names later on in the show. And we have our special guests.
Yes.
3 special guests. Not 1, not 2, but 3. The magic number. Because yesterday was apparently World Menopause Day.
Yes,
World Menopause Day.
Yes.
So I'm looking like I'm gonna get cussed in a minute. Was it or was it not World Menopause Day? Okay, sorry. All right, it was.
Mike, use your mic.
All right, it was. You hear people just bouncing at the studio and just want to take over already. This is them Brexit people, you know. They just go in the place and just take over everywhere, you know. I saw them protests. They just go in and take over.
Dear.
So yeah, yesterday was World Menopause Day, right? So one of our special guests in the studio is the amazing, the wonderful Karen Arthur from West UK, who does a lot of talks and represents about this a lot. Very openly talks about menopause. And also we have our resident health and wellness coach, Samantha, in the building.
Hi.
Going to be talking to us about menopause as well, helping us to understand what is it, when does it start, how does it affect a woman's body, how does it affect the man? Yes, man, because it affects us too. Boy, I can write books. So yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about that. And Sim, tell us about our third guest.
So our third guest is Stephen Oram from Proud and Gifted. He will be coming into the studio today to talk about his organisation.
All right, so 3 special guests. I'm really proud of the roster of guests we got coming through on this show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some real inspirational guests coming through on this show. This is Saturday Soup, organic goodness.
You know what? Talking about Saturday Soup, I had Saturday Soup on Wednesday, and it was nice.
All the way from Saturday.
Only somebody from East London can have Saturday Soup on a Wednesday.
Well, you know what? I couldn't wait till Saturday, so I just needed it then. And it just...
Then I know Saturday Soup, but Wednesday Soup. Saturday Soup right now is in full swing. Kicked off the show with this is the Kingdom.
Yes,
right now, the Kingdom step. Stay tuned to the gig guide to find out about the launch of the EP coming up very soon. And I kicked off the show with a new tune from Stro Elliott from his new EP track entitled Gifted.
Nice.
Right, time is running. Let's get into it.
Oh my God!
Now tuned into the greatest.
This bloke is one angry, naughty, aggressive crocodile.
Crocodile, real new, they should know.
Real DJ.
Don't just come up here and play tune and press buttons.
Real DJ.
Remix, more remix pressure for your ear. You know we're good for that. Remix sounds of D'Angelo Brown Sugar. This is the Moose edit. Right, straight after this, we're going to be talking about menopause and ting.
Let me tell you about this girl, baby, I should. I met her in Philly, and her name's Brian. See, we been making love constantly. That's why my eyes are shade. Blood burning. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing. When I'm kissing, what I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe. I can't deny of your love, I don't know how to do it. Brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. Oh, sugar, when you're close to me, you love me right down to my knees. Every time you let me hit it, sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate. Brown sugar, babe. I get high off the world, don't know how to behave. Brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar. it goes. Brown sugar got me open, now I want some more. Always down for all my nauseous swallow. But I think I'm here to solo, who my niggas don't pop. Stick out my tongue and I'm ready to hit this pretty bitty with persistence. Yo, I think y'all here. Brown sugar, babe. I get high off of love, don't know how to behave. Brown sugar.
Yes. Remix sounds of D'Angelo with Brown Sugar. Saturday Soup Show is in full swing. Friday on iLive UK, the UK's newest, freshest, bestest radio station. Yeah, man. We can do that. It's our platform. We can do what we want. Time is 20 minutes past the hours of 4. And we've got too much to get through, so let's get into it.
Captain, this ship is now under my direction.
Okay. So, as I said earlier on in the show, yesterday was World Menopause Day. So, we wanted to talk about it on today's show. And who better to talk about it than someone who's been doing a lot of talking about menopause on a public platform, doing lots of events and lots of talks about this, helping people to understand menopause better. The one and only from Rescue UK, Karen Arthur.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah? You're just warming up, innit? That's warming up.
I'm fine.
Yeah?
You know.
All right, cool. And Samantha, our resident health and wellness coach.
Hi.
Hi. You good?
Yep.
All right, cool. So, menopause. What is it? For those that don't know, who are listening right now, what is it? When does it start?
Okay, looking at me.
I'm just looking in this general direction. General direction.
Menopause is a word that was... I looked at the etymology. So 1823, first time it was used. 52, sorry.
Wow, we're going in.
Yeah, we're going in.
Okay.
But it started to be used more regularly in around the 1940s when people started to recognise the symptoms more.
Okay.
So more traditionally, women would be surrounded by other women who were going through this journey, a life change. When a woman is no longer fertile, she becomes sterile, let's just say it like that. But that's
the official
a medical terminology.
Medical term.
Yeah. So it's the next phase in a woman's life cycle, where she's no longer able to have children.
Okay. All right. The next question was, when does this typically begin in women? Karen, you want to take that one?
I think this is where the problem starts. Because there's an assumption that it happens when you're 50. And there's this thing about you hit 50 and you're old. Actually, there are several women that I've spoken to, certainly since I started talking about this, who actually have started menopause a lot earlier. And because they were expecting it to start when they were 50, it's taken them completely by surprise.
Right.
So I know people who've started menopause in their late 30s.
Right.
There are people who are going into perimenopause, which is the pre-bit, the sneak preview, so to speak.
There's different stages of this.
There's different stages of menopause.
What's the stages? Because I thought it was just like, that's it. Boom.
Yeah, there are 3 stages.
Okay.
So you have the perimenopause period where maybe this lasts for 10 to 15 years for some women.
Right.
And then the period where you're in menopause, where you've had a 12-month period and you have no menstrual cycle at all. Right. And then post-menopause, which again is a bit of a grey area, because for some women, post-menopause really comes when they have no more symptoms, and that could be like another 10-year period. So it's like, 35 years worth of change.
Right, okay.
It's long. It's
really long.
It is. So,
and how does it generally? So it's really about the ceasing of the menstrual cycle. But there's more to it than that, right? The symptoms that women experience is much more than this, much more complicated than that.
Yeah, it's so complicated, but it's only made complicated because we're shamed. Women are shamed. Women are shamed for getting older, for aging. So it's made more complicated because there are so many, like you said, grey areas. We don't actually know. You know, people say to me, "Oh, well, what is it, and what will be the symptoms?" Well, my symptoms will be different from. I was going to point at you, maybe not you.
Yeah, they'll be very different from mine.
Very different from, Samantra's symptoms will be very different from somebody else's. So I can only speak from my experience and the people who are talking to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what's some of the typical
So
symptoms?
hot flashes is the hot.
That's one I hear regularly.
Are the
hot
ones
flashes.
Yeah, hot flushes, night sweats. I had tingly legs. Your libido is supposed to drop, but that doesn't happen with everybody. Your skin becomes drier. Your vagina comes drier. There are lots of different things that happen, but it doesn't happen to everybody.
Yes, for all those people listening right now eating their Saturday soup. Yeah, sorry, we're keeping it real around here.
I'm sorry, but we have to talk about these things.
I know, depending on the the table.
Oh my God! Well, at least I didn't swear.
Grandma!
You should have warned me.
Oh my gosh!
What? That we're on a live radio show? I thought you knew, babe.
We're talking about menopause.
iLive UK.
So there's a variation of symptoms.
The variation is because the female menstrual cycle is dictated by a cocktail of hormones, sex hormones. And there are 4 main female hormones, and then there's also testosterone mixed in there as well, which is the male sex hormone. And depending on your personal cocktail, then basically if you have a shortage of one but an excess of another as your body's transitioning, it has a different impact. But mostly muscle tone, which is why there will be problems all around the body, pain, the receptors and the nerves are blurred, so tingling
It don't sound like fun. Menopause don't sound like fun.
No. There are lots of memes about it, like, oh right, so now I've started menopause, then I'm dead. It's like, yeah, basically.
I heard that one.
Yeah. But and the phrase "the change."
Yeah.
Do men have a menopause?
They do. There is one.
There is
they
a menopause.
Do have a menopause. I don't know the details of it, but it does happen. But it's nowhere near as long in duration, or as there aren't as many symptoms as with women. So that's why it's kind of you don't hear about it. I mean, certainly I only heard about it this year. So.
Yeah, the menopause, or the change in the male hormone profile, is again as a result of aging and the change in the body. But so that effectively isn't the end of his ability to reproduce. So men reproduce till, good God, people know there are men producing
later
in life. So yeah, I got stuck. Sorry. And so testosterone level changes. When that lowers, it will affect a lot to do with muscle mass, sexual drive, potency, virility, lots of things to do with the voice and the way that a man looks, his hair loss. Energy levels.
I like the way Sim just looked at me when you said hair loss. You know,
it's a long time time thing.
She wasn't looking at me until you said hair loss. She looked straight in my eye. You know,
DJ Croc.
She widened out her eyes. She didn't just look at me. She widened out her eyes and looked at me.
And you're not the only bald man in the room, but you know.
You know what I mean? Why do you look at Jazzy? You know. So there's lots of changes in the body for men and for women, but much more so for women.
It's more so for women, and it affects women more because of society's attitude towards women in the first place.
Right, which we'll come on to.
Okay,
Sim,
that means shut up, Karen.
No. It looks like Sim was ready to.
No, I'm really engaging in this conversation because I don't want to have it. I just want it to kind of like skip past me.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, girl.
I know, but I just want it to just not.
Yeah.
But like when it came on for you,
in the middle of it.
Oh, so how did it make you feel?
So it
apart from the itchy leg.
Do you want to? You what?
Apart from the itchy leg.
The tingling leg. Well, for a start, I didn't know I was going through perimenopause. That's the first thing to recognise. Right. And the other side to that is I was also going through lots of other things. So I was signed off sick from work. I had been diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Yeah. My children, I had an empty nest syndrome. Both of my girls had gone to university.
Right.
There were lots of things going on. Mm-hmm. So I didn't. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I was finding the worst thing you can do, guys, by the way, is Google the symptoms for menopause, because you will fall down a rabbit hole of, and then what you do is you imagine that you've got them all, or that you're dying, you know, which is awful. So
so don't follow that. Just listen to Saturday Soup.
It was early 50s.
Okay.
Listen to Saturday Soup. All right, we're going to play a tune and we're going to come back, and I want to open this up to anybody that's listening. If you want to send in a comment or you want to ask questions to our guests, the studio number is 0208 klung 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 klung. The studio number is 0208 638 8503. That's 0208 638 8503. That's menopause right there. Or 07 is a 9 07939 661 061. WhatsApp number 07939 661 061 if you want to WhatsApp a message to us, or if you want to call us. You can also holler at us in the iLiveRadio.com chat room, which is at iLiveRadio.com /iLive-UK. We're talking about the menopause right here on the Saturday Soup. So if you wasn't ready before, you better be ready now. Over to a fresh track from Mungo's Hi-Fi featuring Eva Lazarus and Kiko Bond. This is Light as a Feather, brand new.
I am feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. Always on the rise and getting better when you choose to see green underfoot. I am feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. Always on the rise and getting better when you choose to see green underfoot. Oh well, this side of the fence, there's nothing wrong with mine. A couple pounds and pence, so everything alright. Oh well, me lost some friends when they weren't for me. I met the realness, them truly kings and queens. I breathe this morning air clear and crisp and clean. Fill up my belly good with the right cuisine. I know it could be worse, and so I won't complain about the little things. Keep smiling through the rain. My bills are way too high, but yet I'm still alive. The world is going crazy, yet we still survive. Love is ever present with us in this life. So hold your head up, I go on and shine your light. I'm feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. Always on the rise and getting better when you choose to see green underfoot. I am feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. On the rise and always getting better when you choose to see green underfoot.
I'm not easily pleased by material things, but I'm in love with my two gold shiny rings. My style, my swag, my love is all I really need to get by in this world. No tobacco in my pipe, only urban, I'm blessed. Keep it righteous, you don't know my health is my wealth. And with the heavy vibes I express, I'm lighter than a feather, I man must confess. Nothing can change this good energy. Lady like Eva Lazarus got the remedy. This bassline thumping with the right melody is the place Kiko Bond wants to be.
I am feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. Always on the rise and getting better when you choose to see green underfoot. I am feeling light as a feather, and I am smiling throughout any weather. Always on the rise and getting better when you choose to see green underfoot. Are you seeing clouds? I'm seeing silver linings. Never been half empty, darling. Let the rain come flying down and fill me up. You let it fill my cup. If you don't have enough, you're welcome in this garden. I'm full of love. My heart is open, yes, my heart's been broken. I live to love another day, and look, I'm feeling golden. The dark won't last forever if I focus purely on the light. The end of tunnels if I'm ever feeling lonely. Pick up my chin,
brand new sounds. Mongo's Hi-Fi featuring Eva Lazarus and Kiko Bun, track entitled Light as a Feather, brand new. Definitely good for you. Hold tight, all the reggae crew on that one. And big up DJ Deep Sound, who's a big Mongo's Hi-Fi fan. Right, we're talking menopause right here today on Saturday Soup. Amongst other things, yesterday was World Menopause Day with our special guests in the studio, Karen, Arthur and Samantha. Helping us to better understand menopause, what it is, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it's all about. So, is there anything preventative that anyone can do to prevent or delay the onset of the menopause? We can't hear you either. You want to just swap mics real quick?
Hi. Oh, sorry. You can't prevent the menopause because it's inevitable, part of the reproductive cycle. But in terms of lifestyle choices earlier on in life...
Sorry, the reason why I asked that is because, remember we were talking a few weeks ago about Alzheimer's and dementia and that impact on later life and the preventative measures for that. So hence why I threw that out there, just to see if there was a similar kind of philosophy where if you changes in diet, changes in lifestyle, whatever, could delay some of this. Yeah,
I mean, the things that really magnify the symptoms and possibly the earlier onset are stress and fatigue that will impact the kidneys, because it's the kidneys that are involved in developing those hormones along with the ovaries. Right. If someone is experiencing reproductive issues and concerns throughout their normal menstrual period of life as a woman, say for example fibroids or polycystic ovaries, etc., the women out there will probably know what I mean. These cause massive symptoms themselves, and so often it's difficult to understand when you are in perimenopause because you're already experiencing many of those symptoms, because the whole thing is that the cocktail of hormones are messed up. The whole thing is that there's a balance and a cycle. So 1 minute it goes hot, the other thing goes cold. When the other thing goes cold, something else is triggered. It's a domino effect, and it's triggered by the brain. So, but the brain needs to have a feedback from the ovaries. So it's like, feedback on your mic. If the feedback is wrong, if the channel's wrong, someone's doing something late, something's doing too soon, too much, too little, and that's when you get the side effects that are fogginess in the brain in particular. Okay. Karen,
yes.
do you want to... I was going to ask...
what she said.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about... You talked before about the stigma that goes along with this. And why is that? Why is there such a big stigma for this?
Okay, so there's a stigma because society likes to put women into boxes. So we have our labels. So we're when we're young, obviously we go through puberty, and then you're a maiden, and then you get married, and you're a wife or you're a mother if you get married, then you have kids and all that kind of stuff. But we get to a point, it's almost like the minute that we can't have kids and our waist starts to thicken and we start to put on a bit of weight, that actually we're surplus to requirements. So it then becomes, it's like, well, go over in the corner, wait for your grandkids. So it's used as a negative. Absolutely seen as negative, and that absolutely needs to change.
That's in modern culture, though. So in traditional cultures, women of an age that have transitioned from being the reproductive element of the village would become the elders and the wise ones, and they would actually respected, and they would actually create a group where they would sit together and talk.
Like your status level kind of goes up.
Elevation, indeed. But in modern society, because a lot of the qualities of external are what we place, or what we've been programmed to believe are how you assess someone's value.
Is that modern society or Western society?
I would say Western society. What do you think?
Deep breath. and deep thoughts. But I'm thinking that more traditional cultures where women don't experience the symptoms as much, so like in China, etc., because of their diet and their lifestyle, and Eskimos. China is not Western, but the way that they treat their elders now has changed. So that's about modernism.
Right, okay. Yeah. All right. So there was this issue with... Go on, were you going to add to that?
No, I was just agreeing, and yeah. Go on. What were you going to say?
Sims, did you want to...
No, yeah, I was just waiting for you to...
Okay, cool. All right, so there's a big stigma to this. What can we do to change that? Talking about it more is one,
that's the biggest
I guess.
Thing, I think that's the biggest thing. I think the reason that certainly some of the things that I've said, either in my talks or on when I did the video Starlight You video, or when I've been honest about my journey and menopause being part of that, it's when you open your mouth that people go, oh, me as well, or oh, you're suffering from that as well, that kind of thing. And I've had a couple of events where I've touched on talking about menopause and aging in particular, but also I've got my female friends around my house. We're all in our kind of early 50s. I'm not early 50s, but they're in their early 50s.
And you got that YouTube
video. Had a conversation,
yeah.
And I've had that and we've had a conversation that's opened up a dialogue. My argument is, if I'm going through this, I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
What about if I talk to somebody else? And it's the light bulb moment when I can say, oh, well, I'm suffering from hot flushes. I can't remember a thing. I can't remember what happened 10 minutes ago. I have to write everything down. And other women turning around and saying, oh my God, I thought I was going mad. And that's the thing. If you suffer alone, then it's worse. But there's also that thing about not wanting to get older, because age is seen as bad for women, okay? Because you're losing your look.
Do you think it's seen as bad for men? Do you think it's seen as good for men? Because if you see it's bad for them, do you think it's good?
If you use the benchmark of the way that you look, then yes. Let's look at Hollywood, for example, where,
distinguished gentlemen.
Oh, absolutely. And growing older is seen as, like something desirable for men because they get that sort of hair or whatever, and they look
so you have distinguished gentlemen and you have glamorous grannies. What?
Yeah, I hate that.
Oh no, how is it distinguished men? How is it distinguished men and then an older woman is a granny?
How is that whole wording?
I was trying to draw for some kind of equivalent, gender equivalent, and that's the best I could find in my head at the moment.
Really?
That's an example.
You have sophisticated lady. Right. Okay. You went for glamorous granny.
Like I said, at the moment, it was just the one that was at the top. It was the one at the front of the record box. Yeah, it was the one at the front of the record box.
This is because we put our society puts a huge emphasis on the way that you look and certain standards.
I get that. That's right. That emphasis is put more on women.
And it's put more on women.
I get that. Yeah.
So as we get older, we do put weight on. Everybody puts weight on, but because that hourglass figure might not be attainable,
it's a curvy road ahead.
You're trying so hard. You're trying so hard to go to the gym every day. Starve yourself.
Forget it.
It ain't happening, girl.
Listen,
you see what I
get
mean?
to a place where you're just like, I can't be bothered.
But then what happens is that feeds into your insecurities, and that makes you ill. Right. And so you fear menopause. Menopause.
And that anxiety
is
exacerbates it.
Not to be feared. Yeah, absolutely. It's not to be feared. Yes, it's a... But life can be... Oh, sorry, it's a bit rubbish. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
iLive UK.
She's shaking her head. Yeah, it's not very nice at times, but don't we have times in our life when things aren't very nice?
Truly.
And if you fear it, then it's going to be worse. I think the more we talk about it and the more we know about it, about what might happen, then it lessens that feeling of insecurity and fear. Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, if you don't mind. Let me just say some things that we were talking about.
Can we come back to you?
Put a pin in that.
Yeah, stick a pin in that right there. And we're going to come back to that. Yeah.
Ow!
Not literally. Behave yourselves. Right, Saturday Soup is in full swing. We're talking about the menopause right here because we need to. It's an important thing. I'm learning and I hope you're learning too. Remember, if you want to get involved in this conversation, studio number 0208-638-8503. You can WhatsApp us on 07939661061 and getting on this conversation. We're talking about menopause.
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup.
Now let's get it all in perspective. For all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0, y'all know it's Najo. Grey Goose and a whole lot of hydro. Only describe us as soldier survivors. Stay laced in the best, well dressed with finesse in the white tee, looking for wifey. Thug girl who fly and talk so nicely. Put her in the coupe so she can feel the nice breeze. We could drive through the city, no doubt, but don't say my car's topless. Say the titties is out. Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hand up that you shoot with, count your loot with. Push the pool stick in your new crib, same hand that you hoop with. Swing around like you stupid. King of the town, yeah, I've been that. You know I click clack, where you and your men's at? Through the Smurf, through the white baseball bat. Rooftop like we bringing 88 back. They shooting. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters, where them dimes at? They shooting. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters at? Where them dimes at? This ain't rapping, this is street hop. Now get up off your ass like your seat's hot. My live niggas lit up the reefer. Trunk of the car, we got the street sweeper. Don't start none, won't be none. No reason for your mans to panic. You don't wanna see no ambulances. Knock a pimp's drink down in his pimp cup. That's the way you get Timberland up. Let the music diffuse all attention. Baller convention, free admission. Hustlers, dealers, and killers can move swift. Girls get close, you can feel where the tools kept. All my just coming homies, parolees. Get money, leave the beef alone slowly. Get out my face, you people so crony. Pull out my waist, the eagle 440. They shooting. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters, where them dimes at? They shooting. Made you look. You a slave.
Remix sounds of Nas's Made You Look. That's the DJ Grumble mix.
Where them dimes at?
Gotta say a big shout out goes out to Ground Body P up there in Wolverhampton for the rep from the Repping For You hip hop show. One of the hardest, realest hip hop shows anywhere on any radio station. Big shout out goes out to you, sir, and it's good to speak to you earlier on this week as well. And for all the Wu-Tang fans like yourself, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about Wu-Tang, the American saga that's out now, and playing some new, fresh Wu-Tang remixes as well later on in the show. But for now, we are talking about the menopause, and we have our special guest, Karen Arthur and Samantha up in the building.
Hello.
So yeah, we're going to get serious for a little bit while because they're trying to enjoy the music. They're trying to... You got to say that in the mic, man. You can't just
This is a tune.
Thank you. Yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
that's
is that
cool.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. That's all right. Yeah. Right. So menopause. Anything else to kind of add? We're talking about Sam. You had something you wanted to say just before we dropped that tune, and we said stick a pin in it. You remember?
Yeah, because you talked about how to prevention.
If
there, like I say, lifestyle choices are important, and one of those important choices are actually being aware of the toxins that are around you,
right,
that are called Zen estrogens. So these are chemical compounds found in lots of things like beauty care, toiletries, our cleaning products. They're in our hand sanitizers, in hairspray. They're in the plastic containers that we put our food in, everything. So in our water.
Right.
So basically what happens is they
all around us, everywhere.
All
everything.
around us, all day, every day.
So how do you escape that?
So basically about making a choice about what you eat and how you clean the raw food that you eat, whether you choose to eat meat, and if you do, whether that has been fed hormones, because animals are fed hormones in order for them to grow quickly, and then you eat that meat, so that meat is full of hormones.
So how does the average person know that stuff? Are we talking about someone's got to like take up, say for example, someone goes to the local butchers like I think back in Brixton, there's loads of butchers line up on the high street.
Yeah.
There ain't no packaging on the meat for you to look at on the back and see how it was, whatever. How does the average person get that information who's buying meat?
It's really hard, but I would say on the grand scale of things, if it says it's not organic, then it's been fed hormone to grow quickly. And if it's $3.99 for a bag full of chicken, it's been fed hormone to grow quickly, so you can have it at $3.99.
So you're saying cost is an indicator?
Cost is often an indicator, but obviously organic meat or animals that are fed in the pasture and are eating grass and growing at a normal rate, and are go through life's proper life cycles instead of being accelerated through.
So try and go organic is the message.
It is the message if you can, if your budget can afford it. But obviously, if not, then limit the amount of processed meats, limit the amount of household plastics that you use. So microwaving plastic food from the takeout is really not a good idea.
Boy, I feel it for all the people listening right now. Say, boy, I have to dash with one of them plastic container them.
One by one. BPA-free plastics. BPA-free plastics.
What's that?
So there are plastics that will say on the outside, this is BPA-free. So it means it doesn't have the chemical that has leaks into your food, that has the estrogen, the artificial estrogen that makes your body think that you're over or under processed or producing hormone, and therefore makes your body shape change. So you'll see more men now with breast cancer, more men now having more feminine shapes because there's so much estrogen everywhere.
I don't like the way you just look at me when she said that.
She did.
I don't like how the women are handling me in the street. I'm not feeling this discrimination, man. I'm not feeling this discrimination.
It's interesting because I went off meat about a year before I started menopause.
Right.
And so
was that a conscious decision, or you just didn't?
I just didn't fancy cooking it or handling it for some reason.
Okay.
And then I stopped. So I stopped eating meat, and I haven't eaten meat for 5 years.
Okay.
And then when I started to research about what was going on with me, whether it was what was going on in my head or physically with me, a lot of the advice was also about not eating meat at all. And I know that's not an option for everybody. I know that. But also what's not an option is eating organic. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
Very impressively then.
Well, I get it.
And another thing that works for me personally, and it might not work for other people, is I drink less alcohol.
Yep. Less coffee.
I make a conscious... so if I have coffee, I'll have one a day. I'll have it before, say, 2:00 in the afternoon, because that works for me. Otherwise, I'm up and I'm, But the other thing is that I don't... if I'm out and I have an alcoholic drink, or if I'm in, actually, because I have a lot of rums in my house, but if I have an alcoholic drink, I'm making... Come, man, because I'm not drinking it. I'm making a conscious decision to have a hot flush within the next 3 minutes.
Okay.
If you see
know exactly
me
it's going to stimulate
that's
something.
what's going to happen. And I decided I'm doing Sober October.
Okay.
I'm 19 days in, guys. Whoop, whoop. At first I thought, oh God, this is going to be really hard. Actually, it's been really easy, because I feel... It doesn't mean I'm not having hot flushes, please don't get me wrong. And hot flushes on the tube, by the way, are the devil. They are, so walk with a fan or walk with something that
I've got to tell you about some alternative therapies to help you.
Thank you.
I
look forward to that. Yeah, so
okay.
yeah.
All right. So it sounds like I'm learning. I want to ask you a bit about, Karen, about Redskin UK. And is this linked into what we're talking about here? Because I know you do a lot of talks about this as well as other stuff, and I caught sight of the YouTube video this week before we did the show. I wanted to get an image of you to use for the promo, so I just put your name in.
Okay.
I said, Lord, gee, how about this? The video come up.
So
talk a bit about Redskin UK.
So a little bit of my background. I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 28 years. I have 33 years of secondary school teaching experience. And when I became ill, I ended up leaving teaching. And so I decided to put everything into getting better. And as I went down into therapy and then came back up again, obviously I needed to think about what I was going to do for the rest of my life, and I was very clear that whatever I did, it had to be something I loved, and I was never going to do something I didn't want to do anymore.
Right.
Because I might be alive for the next 50 years, so it was important to me, and I'd always sewn. So I had always made bags, and I called them Redskin bags because it had been a nickname of mine, and it reminded me of Barbados, which is where my parents come from. But then when I really got down to the nitty-gritty, what I love doing is making relationships through clothing.
Right.
So I didn't want to make things that randoms, no disrespect to my ex-clients, but randoms bought from the internet. I wanted to make a relationship with women and talk about our body shape and talk about making clothes that made you feel good and made you stand tall.
Because your thing is where you're happy, right?
So that kind of evolved because when I was ill, I noticed my connection, as I started to get better, I noticed the links between what I wore and how it affected my mood. And I feel strongly that my links to fashion and making conscious clothing choices to lift my mood helped me, along with other things, don't get me wrong, meditation, yoga, lots of other things as well, helped me to get better. And I started to bang on about it on social media. And for a long time, for a year, I was chatting to myself.
But now...
And people started to take notice. Yeah. So when Star Like You... I'm getting to the point now. When Star Like You... they are an American duo, mother and daughter duo, who have done series on YouTube and a podcast about what's underneath. So they have you... they've asked some really probing questions about your life. What am I doing? Yes. Okay. And then they asked me to get involved. I was nominated to get involved, and it was just talking about my links to fashion and how I use fashion to help me with my mental well-being.
And others, and inspiring others to do the same.
And it would seem so, yes.
If people want to find out more about this, how can they find you?
So I have a website, redskin2ds.co.uk, but I hang about a lot on Instagram.
So what's your Insta
So
handle?
my Instagram is @theKarenArthur.
Okay. Arthur is spelled...
Karen with a K, Arthur, ARTHUR, and everything, all the links and everything are up there. I spend a lot of time over there.
Fantastic. Just before we kind of wrap this up, because we've got to go for a break in about 4 minutes, Cyril Tomlin on Facebook says this is good news. So big shout out goes out to Cyril, who's listening right about now. As that's the first message we've had from a dude, I want to end by saying, just real quickly, can we talk, what advice would you have for men who are either experiencing this or with partners who are experiencing this?
For partners who are experiencing their, going through it.
Listen and talk
patience.
And ask questions and be interested, and don't switch off every single time you hear the word menopause.
Okay. That's me. And
you're here.
Understand that the mood swings, the depression, the anxiety.
Yes, talk to us about the mood swings.
Part of what's happening. Part of what's happening is that cocktail is being jiggled around again, and that's what you need to remember. That it's not necessarily that person. That person's still trying to find themselves,
right?
And that's the feeling of being lost when you're going through menopause often, and why some women really seriously struggle with their mental health. But there are lots of other groups out aside of this that can help, and being surrounded by like women helps. Talking to younger generation women who are going through perimenopause who don't understand that they're actually currently going through perimenopause is really important. And there are many natural therapies that you can use. Some women opt to go in for a hormone replacement. There's still a case out for whether or not that's helpful. And perimenopausal, it can be for a couple of years, but you need to come off it because high risk of stroke, cancer, etc.
Okay.
But alternatively, talk to me about oils, because I use oils to help me with my hot flashing, night sweats, pains in my knees, joints and bone issues. And let me tell you, in 2 months, I have transitioned massively. Cognitive. My partner may not agree with my cognitive functioning, but I think that my memory and focus and concentration is better.
All right.
But I might be trying to multi-skill more, and therefore forgetting to close the cupboard door.
So how can people get at you about the oils? How can people get at you about the oils?
Contact us here at iLive and just say oils, And also contact us here at iLive and say menopause, because I have a class coming up soon where you can find out more and talk to me and my colleagues about natural remedies for menopause.
Okay, last minute, Karen, you wanted to get something real quick.
Very quickly, I'm starting up a private membership group called Where You're Happy Thrive, which is for women who seem to have lost themselves, and a lot of the conversations will be around perimenopause, menopause, but also fashion and mental well-being and so on and so forth. So if you go on to Instagram at the Karen Arthur and look at my link tree in the bio, you can join the mailing list to find out more.
Fantastic. And I would advise people to also look up Karen. What's the title of the video on YouTube? That's a really good video.
Called Style Like You. If you go into YouTube and put Style Like You, just a U, and then Karen Arthur.
Fantastic video. If you want to know more about menopause, that's the one. Thank you, ladies. Sims, do you want to get in anything real quick before we go to this? No? No, I'm good.
No. Are you still scared, Sims? We're here. I got some oils for you, honey.
We've got to go for the ads. We soon come.
This is Chuck Ola, and you're listening to iLive Radio. Changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Darian Dean, and you are listening to iLive Radio, the home of soul and people that love soul.
This is Blaze from the DMV on iLive Radio. Changing the way you listen to music.
Hey, this is Terry Remsen, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, www.iliveradio.com.
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Before I have to pull the strap out the cut,
give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble, cause ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too low down G, so we crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake this. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand. From a young G's perspective. And before me dig out a trick, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. Now when she burning, I'ma chill for a minute, cause ain't no loving good enough to get burned while I'm offended. Yeah, and that's realer than real deal, Holyfield. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Well, if it's good enough to get off a proper chunk, I take a small piece of some of that funky stuff. It's like this and like that and like this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this and like that and like this, and Drake creep to the mic.
Captain, this ship is now under my direction.
This beat is nuts. We've been putting in work for years. Gotta stay diligent in this game. Man's is always working. If you don't work, don't eat. We stay dilly, gent, cause it's really hard work trying to make a milli out of nilly. Rap so grilly, and get milli. 10-ton Jackie Dilly trying to cap my capability, but they can't really, so it's so killy. I willy definitely fulfilling my destiny. Even if the glass silly, Jackson's like Millie puts cats in your capilli. See me and Guy Lily, learn to be Billy growing up in Nigeria. Firstborn, looking after the family. Things kinda changed when I flew to London. Man of the house now, more responsibility. Lived in the council estate in Brixton. Thugs in the BMs, playing bounty killy. Trying to recruit the youth to criminally. So what you saying? I'm like Milli Vanilli. Hey, stay diligent. Give it to me, live it magnificent. If you don't work, you can't eat. Then you can't sleep. Baby, that's a no, no, no. Hey, stay diligent. Give it to me, live it magnificent. If you don't work, you can't eat. I'll put the work in. Oh, oh, oh. Mum was St. Billy, no pops in the facility. I walked around town like I was invisibility. I've done a few things I'm not proud to reveal. The road is hot and cold, I call it chilly. My languilly blends like a chameleon. Write so many bars, I'm almost incarcerilly. Write for your soul to connect to your intilly. Write with intent, never willy-nilly. The London Lily, round the world like Philly. Freeing people saying free your mind, not willy. Being in the billy, believing in your ability. On this work won't kill it. Lazily, willy, silly billies wanna pick a fight, I pick a dilly. Lyrically, my skillies probably top Billy. Stay dilly, focus your mentally, and have something to show at the end, Billy. Hey, stay diligent.
Welcome back after the ad breaks, DJ Croc. In the hot seat alongside Sims Mode, your Saturday soup is in effect, giving you all the organic goodness you need on a Saturday afternoon right here on iLive UK. Now, I know it's after top of the hour. I'm supposed to go old school after 5 o'clock. I know this, but I've got so much new tune to get through. I just couldn't as yet. But don't worry, all the old schoolers, I will deal with you before 6 o'clock, all right? Don't worry. Right, time to get into the second part of our show. Let's get into it.
Captain, this ship is now under my direction.
Right. Welcome back. Right, part 2 of the show. Sims Mode.
Yes.
We sing. We got in the building. We got in the building for part 2.
Our next guest, and I'm very proud of this guy. So I stumbled across this gentleman here, Stephen Oram, last year, I think, early up last year.
Oh, no. We don't just drop people's names there. Let's drop a bomb for Steve. How you mean? Don't do this thing right, man. How you mean? Drop her next. What are you dealing with? Stephen Oram, man, from Pride and Gift. Drop a bomb for Pride and Gift, man. How are you dealing with?
So, yeah, I saw his posted up. I think it was either someone else shared it, and I was looking at the video, and it was amazing to see how inspirational you are to young people, and just not certain people, just young people in general. So I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. And like I just immediately liked your page, and whatever you posted out, I just kept on sharing it because I feel that there's a lot of stereotypes about young people these days, and this is much needed, as well as the other organisations.
Let's take you back.
I'm giving you a story of how I came across him.
Okay.
So I see this now. So here we have Steve Oram from Proud and Gifted.
Thank you for having me.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good. So please tell me, what is Proud and Gifted?
Proud and Gifted is the social media network that celebrates young people's achievements.
Right.
That's it. We just celebrate our young people who are just achieving greatness within their life.
Right.
Which inspires and motivates other young people to say to themselves, if he or she can do it, so can I.
Right. So when did you start Proud and Gifted, and like, where do you see it going?
Okay, started Proud and Gifted only 10 months ago. I take it back just a bit. My job is an appropriate adult in police stations. I support vulnerable people and juveniles when they get arrested.
Right.
So I see firsthand where someone's been accused. And then from then I realised that, put that together with the media, there's no positive stories about our young people.
Right.
So I sorted through how to do videos and things like that, and then I realised, right, that's it. My sister made me one night. I kept buying all these domain names. Then when I finally found Proud and Gifted, I thought, right, that sits well with what I want to do. Fast forward to December, I bought a gimbal and I shoot all my videos on my iPhone.
Okay.
I've got DSLR cameras, but I just shoot the iPhone. I film and edit myself, and the first video I put out in December was actually my son's friend Ron, who has shot some big videos. And then that felt good when I put that first video. I was scared to pull it out though,
right?
Because wording, editing, I was scared. But as they say, once you press send, that's it. Even though I filmed him, it took him 4 weeks to get me back the video.
So was this, this was a conscious decision you made to post this as part of a specific campaign, or was this just you posting and it being picked up organically from your own personal?
As you said, that was part of my campaign.
Right.
And I thought, I need to get a video out. Enough talking was being done. when I put the first video, I was scared in the sense of how it would be received.
Right.
In the beginning.
What was your fear? What was the fear? That it wouldn't be received well, or people wouldn't like it, or?
All. 0 views, 0 likes. Because when you first start something, you get caught up in the shares and the views. As we'll talk about that later. I won't lie. That's what got me going, because my Instagram page was quiet. I just used it for myself, but I changed it. It was the views, the like. I'm not fussed by people's opinions, because Jay over there knows me well. I don't care about people's opinions. You can slate me all you want this life, because you're entitled to your opinion. But it was the views, and how the video will be thinking, oh, here we go again, just one video, and then tomorrow it's back to negative views.
Amongst the mass of negative.
Right. Yeah. So, and the other killer point was, I knew that my video won't stand out because it's not negative. Right. It's something positive. Yeah. Old saying, positive doesn't sell. That was my fear.
Okay.
First video went out. That was the first video I actually put out was me advertising what I'm doing, and that was received quite well.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, because I created a Facebook page straight away. Because what I watched loads of videos to change my mindset on how to produce content.
Right.
And
you did your homework.
Yeah, and I haven't watched no videos to make money. Some people tell you that's surprising of me, but there comes a stage in life where you have to put money on a back burner. So when I put out the first video of me in the park, that was well. I went to this event and filmed myself there talking about it. That was well. But my first actual video, I was still frightened. But once I put that out, beginning of December, I must admit, after I see 1 view, 2 views, I was like, okay. And the comments coming in. But for me, after the first video, I said, right, I need to stay consistent. We know people like good news, but the negative still sells. But yes, that's what the first video went to.
Okay, so where are we now? So that was your first video and the story to the first one. How has it blown up now? Where are you now? Were you still focusing on the Instagram, or have we gone to other platforms as well? And is this primarily your campaign posting this stuff, or is there a wider campaign to encourage other people or everybody else to sort of get a mass distribution on the stuff that you're sharing? Because it's a one. I've heard people float this idea before about a media platform that shares only positive content, particularly about black people. And I've heard this debated before, but I've never actually, you're the first person I've seen. Well, I mean, we could talk about newspapers like The Voice and The Gleaner and stuff like that, but in terms of social media, you starting from that platform, you're the first person I'm aware of that started from that in that way, so to speak. So where are we now? From that first video, where are you now? And is there a wider campaign of spreading it on other platforms and getting other people to share what you're sharing?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for saying I'm the first platform, because I was looking for competitors to see what's out there.
I'm taking it you didn't find any.
Didn't find any. I found platforms that shared a positive story, but I couldn't find no one that done it 24/7.
Right.
So I struggled in the beginning because of that concept, because I couldn't find nobody. So I sat down and realised, okay, if it's me one, I've got to do this.
Okay.
So where I am today, from 10 months ago, I was asked to come to Eton College on Thursday.
Wow.
For their first ever Black History Month, to do a talk with the boys with 3 other powerful speakers.
Nice.
Amazing.
I didn't see that coming. My plan was to take young people to Oxford and Cambridge. I overlooked Eton. Eton came about, there's a boy called Joshua. He applied for Eton himself when he was in year 10.
Okay.
He saw someone who had a surname as him, black boy, and he thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And Joshua's from Camberwell as well.
Okay.
So he got I think it's the Orwell Scholarship. So when he took tests, he passed all the tests, he got that. He became a prefect. So when I met him, to give him his award, just for inspiring other young people, went to Eton. He took me around. I thought I'd be there for like half hour. He had me there for the entire day. And I'm trigger happy. I was filming everywhere. I filmed myself in the chapel where they have detention, where Boris Johnson's name's on this particular board.
Okay.
Wow.
So fast forward, and on the same day, I asked his headmaster if he could surprise him with my award.
Okay.
And he said that'd be an honour, which I was quite surprised. But he said, so he'd done that. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, when I first got an email, I thought they was telling me to take down my videos of Eton.
Right.
Because I filmed young black boys outside Eton who just started. So I was thinking, oh no, what now? Open the email, big email. I was like, I don't need this. Because my first video of Eton is the first most viewed video. I think it's at 10k views in 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I must
10k in 6 weeks.
Yeah, a view is a view. You can have a look yourself
man.
if you want. Yeah, thank you. I think it's on 9.8 or 9.8. When I looked at it, I was like, oh my God. What got people excited was seeing young black boys dressed in their tails, as I call it, sending a message, because I asked them to do a message for other young people.
Right.
And they said, yeah, happy. They're all done their own message. I put the video together. Fast forward to the email I got. Went there on Thursday. Their first ever Black History Month meal, what they call it, supper.
Okay.
I went with it. Yeah.
Supper.
Well, you know what? You know when we got progress? When you get invited to Eton Saturday soup. That's when Black History Saturday soup. That's when you know we got real progress.
Yeah.
But go on, I digress.
Yeah, no, that's
I digress.
fine. So from there, had supper. It is that type of establishment. It's no secret. I didn't like to use the word place. Establishment. So from there, yeah, he's looking.
Oh, okay. Right. You need to go on Proud and Gifted page.
Yeah, so as I was saying, so from there now, they told me that the only way, an English boy told me, the only way they celebrated Black History Month in Eton was to have a banner online.
Wow. That was the campaign. The Black History Month campaign was a banner
online.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
I looked
they're
how
coming
you looked.
some way. They're coming some way.
I looked how you looked.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're sitting there thinking, for real? And they said, yes. 1,000 students, there's 15 or 21 BAME children, that's all.
Okay.
And out of the 1,000 children, there's only one black teacher that teaches them.
Wow.
Oh.
I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't say wow.
But why are we surprised? But yes.
I'm surprised because it is... I shouldn't be surprised because I think it is that kind of establishment. When I think of Eton, Cambridge, Oxfordshire, and those kind of establishment, I don't think traditionally of loads of black children there, which is why Stormzy making such a concerted effort to send more black children to those establishments is such a big deal. Yeah. Because traditionally they are not there. They are massively underrepresented at places like that. So that's why I say I shouldn't really be surprised that there's only one black teacher. When I was in school, there was only one black teacher. Crying out loud.
At your school?
Yeah. At my school I went to, there was only one black teacher. And he wasn't even like someone who, I mean, we were excited to see a black teacher come to school, but he wasn't even someone that was like really like you, was like kind of looking out for us like that. He was a huge disappointment. But yeah, there was only one in our school, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So we shouldn't be, but we all are.
We shouldn't. I guess it's become an accepted thing.
Yes.
You know, but thankfully people like Stormzy and yourself and the work that you're both doing is kind of helping to change the narrative and the expectation that it is no longer expected that black pupils will not be at those elite establishments.
And,
you know?
And that's, sir, you're spot on.
All right. Stick a pin. We're going to play some tracks and then come right back to you in a minute. All right?
Thank you very much.
All right. Saturday Soup is in full swing, so we're going to talk some more about Pride and Gifted, and we've still got the gig guide to mention, we've still got the TV review we're going to get through as well, and the news talking points of the week. Too much tunes, let's get into it. Brand new remix from Alicia Keys, dancehall style.
Baby, 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 from the day I saw you, I really, really wanted to catch your eye. Something special about you, and I must really like you. There's not a lot of guys are worth my time. Oh, baby, 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 it's getting kind of crazy. You are taking over see us on our first date. You're doing everything that makes me smile. And when we had our first kiss, it happened on a Thursday. And oh, it set my soul on fire. Oh, baby, 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 I can't wait for the first time. My imagination's running wild. Feel like ooh, you don't know my name, and I swear it, baby. Feel like ooh, you don't know my name. Will you ever know?
I'm saying he don't even know what he's doing to me. Got me feeling all crazy inside. I'm feeling like,
I'm doing more than I've ever done for anyone's attention. Take notice of what's in front of you, cause did I mention
Saturday Soup on iLive Radio. All the organic goodness you need. Everybody needs some Saturday Soup.
Yes, Saturday Soup still in session. Alicia Keys on the remix, dancehall rhythm. 27 minutes past the hours of 5. Don't forget, top of the hour, you got Claus, aka Miss Ouch, up with the Independent Injection. Show, if you like independent soul music, then that's the spot where you need to be. 6 o'clock to 8. Claus, aka Miss Ouch. Hey, aka Miss Hey. Hey. So, before we run out of time, what were the news talk was you? In brief, the news in brief.
In brief, so obviously there was stuff, as I said, about the People's Vote March today. Mm-hmm. Also, they had a Parliament meeting in House of Lords today.
Brexit business.
Talking about Brexit, because they have
everything is
come
Brexit.
to a deal, but they have to vote on it to say if they want to go with that deal or not. So they had that conversation today. So
we'll see.
I'm assuming next week is when they're going to be doing the votes.
Okay. You got
Monday.
You got on. You can talk. You can get into this. So we got more Brexit talks coming up as well.
Yeah, because we're supposedly leaving on the 31st of October.
Okay. How did you vote? Did you vote in this referendum?
I did.
Did you vote to leave or remain?
Remain.
Okay. And your reason for?
Because I don't know. Because of how the Conservative are, they don't think about the poor.
They just think about.
They want to know how much money they can make.
Yeah, it's all
from the less fortunate.
Yeah.
To keep them staying rich and wealthy.
Okay. All right. Well, me never vote. I was too baffled by the whole fours and the against arguments, and I did not want to cast a blind vote.
Right.
I wanted to fully understand what I was voting for.
So now do you fully understand it now?
I get it now, and but remember there was the campaign around this was there was so much BS.
Yeah, it was,
and you had to wade through a whole sea and
Because you remember the bus where they said about the NHS
all of it. So I didn't really feel like I could go into the booth and vote, like consciously understanding what it is I'm voting for.
Yeah.
And I thought that's why I didn't vote. I thought I don't want to just cast a blind vote. I need to understand clearly what it is I'm voting for. So that's why I didn't vote. There was too much nonsense during the media campaign and I couldn't really make heads or tails of it. Anyway, so we got that going on as well. More news to come in a bit, and I want to talk before we go as I'm playing a Wu-Tang joint about the band. I got my Wu t-shirt on. Check me out though. Is
that Method?
That's not Meth. That's Ghostface.
Oh, is it Ghost? Shame, it looks like Method Man.
Let's go.
You sure?
We're debating whether or not this is Meth or Ghost.
It's Ghost.
It's Ghost.
No, but don't you look like Method?
Right.
Oh. But
nah, this is Ghost. Anyway, the Wu is unmistakable.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me just. Sorry, people listening at home. We are. Come on the screen.
That looked like Method Man to me.
So we're debating who is this on my t-shirt? Is this Meth or is this Ghost?
That's Method Man. I'm sorry. That's not Ghostface Killer.
So Jarzino's changed his mind.
So do you know what? Ghostface normally wears the fangs, but Meth always has the grills, the certain grills. That's definitely Meth.
I thought, you know what? I was like you, but I switched the other way.
Okay.
I thought it was Meth, and I switched to Ghost.
No.
You thought it was Ghost, and now you switched to Meth.
That's definitely
Meth.
Now I'm seeing it full on. I'm still seeing it sideways, and now I can see it.
We need to ask the Artful Fro, because she was the one that made this t-shirt. Big shout out to the Artful Fro. She makes amazing t-shirts.
It's a dope t-shirt though. I like it.
Prints on vinyl, on records as well. So big shout out to the Artful Fro. She gave me this one a little while back at One Nation. Anyway, back to our special guest talking about Proud and Gifted before time runs out on us. So we've gone from one video to 10,000 to worrying about no likes to 10,000 likes in 6 months. We're now being invited to Eton, and what's the future looking like for Proud and Gifted?
The future. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, the future is to continue to raise awareness. As you said earlier, it's open to the wider audience, because when they're sharing, it's not me they're sharing. I will gas about my platform, as you can see since I've been here, but it's about sharing the young people's story.
So what is the awareness that you're trying to raise?
That we have positive young people within our communities that are just doing greatness. It's not always about gun, knife, gang issues. We have young people that steer clear of such things, and they are entrepreneurs from the ages of 10 years old.
Are you planning to take what you're doing across into mainstream media, or are you happy to stay independent of mainstream media?
It's a good question.
Because you know, that's kind of where the problem is. Mainstream media is so used to just mercilessly bombarding us with the negative images, the stereotypical images. That's really where I feel the problem lies. So is the plan, part of the plan, to tackle that in that realm, or do you want to keep away from that and just do your thing, build your thing independently of all of that?
It's a bit of both, because I'm not here to fight the media. I made that clear within my first post I ever done. But the media needs to share the positiveness of young people. Like yesterday, I was on the Eddie Nestor BBC radio show.
Shout out to Eddie.
Yeah. 10-minute slot, good enough for my platform. They've asked me to come back in a couple of weeks to speak about it a bit longer and more detail. But it's always to end up in the mainstream, because if that's the way that I've got to highlight our black children, because it's not just boys, by the way, it's girls as well.
Okay, good. I'm glad you clarified. That was going to be a next question.
And it's boys and girls, and my platform is also it's obviously it's diverse in the terms of our young people, and it's about equality as well.
Okay. Sims, do you want to?
No, you've already asked my question about where do you see yourself in the future. Do you have any events that you going to be having in the near future?
No, I've been staying away from events. I've lasted 10 months.
Purposefully?
Yeah, I go to so much events. Let me make it easier. I go to an event once a week, so I'm planning to go to one tomorrow, because I think it's vital to be out there to raise awareness of my platform. Remember, if you don't do it, no one ain't going to do it for you.
So how does it work? Does it work by you have to go and collect all the content and post it?
Yes.
Or you have to go and collect all the content yourself?
Yeah, so I break it down. I've got my sister, Esther, and she's very cutthroat, because she wants to protect my brand as well as making sure the young person ain't being exposed by their carers, so to speak. We find a story, we delve in to make sure it's legit. I will contact their social media platforms, speak to whoever's in control, because most of them are not run by the children. I plan to meet them and ask them. As soon as they see me, they'll look at me like, that's that guy from Instagram, the young people. So then I ask them to share their stories with me. I film them. Depending on the age, they'll get a certificate and a medal. I like to big up my sponsors, James Shoe Care, Barkingside. Shoe Doctor. He supplies and engraves my medals for me. I asked him if he wanted to be my sponsor, and without any hesitation, he said yes, Stephen.
Nice.
So can people
contact us to sponsor us?
How do people? I was going to ask, can people contact you to if they have positive stories as well that they want to share with you? How do they get at you? But also sponsors as well.
Yeah.
How do they get at you?
No, let's deal with the first one, as you said. If somebody has
because it must be a lot. It's a lot to expect you to collect. I mean, if we're talking like whether it's London-wide,
I've got about 100 stories at the moment.
But it's a lot for you all to be on you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there must be lots more stories out there that will be great for your platform, positive stories to share. So how do people get
all
at
they
you?
got to do? All they got to do is tag Proud and Gifted. Because, example, I woke up this morning, and since Wednesday, I something with my family on Wednesday, eaten yesterday. It took me 3.5 hours to go through my social media this morning.
Right.
Because I always make time for my social media.
Bro, you need a team. You're too big.
It's coming. I know.
You're too big now.
And I didn't think. You know what? I didn't think. Everyone says to me, Steve, how could I help? In the next few weeks, I will sit down and think how I need help. But the person's got to be consistent, because this ain't about me. We've got to keep the levels where I'm at now and keep them higher, because I'm one of these people, I don't want to slip. And I love celebrating young people. So that's the most important thing.
So the hashtag is proud of, is it all letters? Proud
Yeah.
Proud and
No,
symbol and
all letters. Proud and Gifted. I'm on Instagram, Facebook.
Proud and Gifted.
Twitter. Latest projects I've got, David Lammy's been waiting to award a young person for me.
Okay.
But with Brexit being so busy in Parliament, we couldn't get access. But David Lammy's waiting.
Okay.
Marsha de Cordova, she's the disabled minister.
Okay.
She's also waiting. On social media, I don't know if you heard of Steve or the Madman.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he's been waiting. I've got his t-shirt. He's been meaning to meet me since Easter.
Okay.
But I was busy, but then he's been mad busy.
Yeah.
But
it's picking up momentum.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm glad I didn't take any shout outs, if someone like him shouted me out in, say, March, I would have never been ready for what would have happened next. I've sat there for 10 months and I've knocked this thing out myself with the help of my friends. But I've sat there for 10 months, so when they're ready to come now and shout me out, it's not a problem.
Okay. Question. So how does you talk about the awards? You just talk about how does the awards work? So is it that, for example, a school or someone contacts you and said, I have a young person that is deserving of this award, or do you go out and find the stories and select someone from your stories? And what does that award ceremony normally look like?
Yeah, right now, we select children ourselves.
Okay.
We're about to open it to the wider audience.
Okay.
I've got, obviously, being on my own, I need to be ready for when schools contact me. Yeah. But the aim is to involve local schools to select one young person who is overachieving.
Right.
Not just behaviour. Education is key.
Okay.
I know there's other good aspects of young people, but some children are excelling and not getting recognised for it.
And that ceremony would normally take place in the school?
In the school. I attended my first school 3 weeks ago, all the way in Croydon. I think it's Coomwood School. The mum actually suggested to me that they've got this open evening, but the headmaster said no. They looked at my platform, asked him to come in during the assembly. That was my first one.
Okay. That's good.
That was 2 minutes, but 2 minutes for me is good enough. I haven't even put the content out. I've got so much content to put out.
More importantly, it's good for the young person to stand up in front of the whole school and be recognised in that way. She was so shy, she was shaking, but I said, so don't worry, you don't have to say nothing. You can go and sit back down. She was literally shaking. Nerves. It's fantastic. And I'll tell you why I like that so much is because as we know, there is so much emphasis always being put on the negative that's done by particularly black children in this country, particularly in the school system, which, as we all know, is institutionally racist and culturally biased. It's not really. There's enough studies out there. You don't have to take my word for it. There's plenty of studies out there that show that the educational system in this country fails black children, particularly boys from an African Caribbean background in particular. So there's always a focus on the negative. So I really salute you
for
presenting not an alternative narrative, but almost like the true kind of essence and character of our young people, not what media perceives us to be in this sort of negative way. And I think because there's so much emphasis on the negative, it can also sometimes become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's correct.
With a lot of young people. Hopefully what you're doing will reverse that fulfilling prophecy. People will respect, actually, no, this is the standard. The standard is I'm supposed to be up here getting my pride and gifted. That's the standard.
Yeah,
you know
because,
what I'm saying?
It's funny you say the narrative. I've never used that description because I guess it is changing the narrative, but I don't believe it's a narrative.
It's not even a narrative.
Yeah,
it's
you're with
a
me.
fact. Because if you see the stats kind of speak for themselves, and that's from someone. I mean, looking at the research, because I've, both my degrees were in education and in work with young people, and I've worked with young people and run services for young people for over 20 years, and I've worked in schools as well. So I'm talking from all sides, and as a parent as well of black children, of a young black boy who's still in school. I'm talking from all sides.
So you might can help my platform, because I need to come to somebody, because as I'm growing now, I need to produce facts of when I'm doing a presentation. So my platform would like your help one day, please.
No doubt. There's loads of information, whether it be statistical, anecdotal, or there's loads of information out there that backs up the fact that the schools in this country are grossly failing our children. But the emphasis is put on the children. You're not going to get the schools saying, boy, you know what, we're failing your child. They're going to tell you it's your child that's failing. They're not going to say it's us that's failing your child. They're going to put the blame for the failure on the child. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is misplaced blame. It should be on them.
But that'll never happen though, because obviously they can't take blame.
No. But this is why I think it's so important and valuable that you are and that's why I use the word narrative. You're presenting an alternative to that. And
thank you very much.
Just starting this conversation, I hope we'll start to change how this is viewed, because we even parents. We had our parents eating with my son the other day.
I was with my niece the other day.
This week, if I was parents eating, but I tend to take whatever is said at those things with a huge dose of salt, because I know, like I said before, they're not going to say to me, we are failing your child. If there's anything that's not working, they're going to say, it's well, your child is a bit this, and we're having trouble with the child, and and I'm usually like, well, hold on, okay, I hear that, but let's talk about you.
Yeah, because it's like
what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Because I had that this week. I went with my niece. My sister Esther, the auntie, she refused to go because she got the same mindset of you. What they're going to tell me, she said, is not going to help her with regards to her niece, because they will never shoulder the blame. That maybe we could do a bit more education with them. But so I went. But I like to go parenting. I went throughout both my children. I always go with my niece. I went for my nephew. You sit there and you're thinking, okay, can do better here, but surely someone's got to answer to say something. We're failing, but no. But Plan Gifted, all I ask the community to do, and they've been supporting me like there's no tomorrow.
That's good.
It's just share the stories
with you, or just share.
Just share the story, because it's not about me. I know some people might think, oh, I'm not going to share that video. The whole point of me being in the forefront, because it's my thing, and I realised you got to put your face to a brand. Didn't want to do it at first, but I realised, okay, what you're doing is sharing the stories to highlight how positive our children are.
So everybody share your positive stories, particularly about black children. All right, hashtag them proud and gifted. How about that?
Thank you very much.
Hashtag them proud and gifted. All letters, proud and gifted.
Because you know why? We celebrate young people's
That's
achievements.
right.
How you mean?
That's right.
Not just for the month of October.
No.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. A big one.
Hallelujah.
All year round.
All right. Just remind us one more time, because we're
just
running
run
short
your
of time.
socials.
Yeah, your socials, please.
On all socials, Instagram, Facebook, it's always proud and letters gifted. Hashtag on Twitter. We appreciate every single view and every single share, because the main thing is we are out here to continue to celebrate young people. I'm going to put together, I had a 3-year plan. I've had to change it to a 5-year plan now.
Okay.
Because Eddie Nestor said one thing last night, and I realised, oh yeah, that's true. From that next level. And he's opened my eyes.
You want to share that with us? Or was that private too?
Yeah, private.
All right, cool. So thank you very much for coming
so
in.
much for
Proud
coming
and
in,
gifted
man.
in the building.
And I'd like to say thank you very much for inviting me, Sims.
No problem.
You're saying you're glad that I came. I'm glad you invited me because this is about our young people.
No doubt.
And I
Definitely.
think you've been a fantastic host, my man.
Thank you very much, my man. I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you. Pleasure having you. People, go and support Proud and Gifted on Insta at Proud and Gifted and hashtag any positive stories you post about black people, black young people, black children. Hashtag them Proud and Gifted. All letters, Proud and Gifted. Thank you so much for coming in, sir.
Thank you very
Respect. Time is 5:46. We're fast approaching the top of the hour. We're going to squeeze in one more tune, and then we've got to deal with the rest of the official business of the day, the gig guide, and the TV and film review. So let's get into it.
Great foul minds, y'all. Yes, sir. What up, P? Great styles be the ghost. 1, 2.
I say open the door, let me in. Teach us all, preach your sins. Turn the cheek, let it slide. Give me 5 on the black hand side. The black hand side. Oh, oh, oh. Black hand side, black hand side. Oh, oh, oh. The black hand side.
Give me 5 on the black hand side. Tell you what I see through the black man's eyes. Fly chick in a Cadillac, a black man ride. But every different day, a different black man dies. Shorty mama tripping off a crack mad high. Now he watching TV, loving the bad guy. This boy with a welfare check, he know he African. Cause he ain't get help there yet. Now he put down his knapsack, got a crack pack. You don't understand if your vision ain't abstract. We in the projects, a lot of us is lab rats. Voted for Obama, hoping he wouldn't have that. Now I can tell you that I felt hell. I still remember how a cell smelled. I still remember how the pigs act. Family crying up on the VI, couldn't dig that. Open the door and teach your soul. Pass the blunt around, hoping that it reach your soul. Now give me 5 on the black hand side. Ghosts and foul minds, watch the black man rise.
Yeah. Open the door, let me in. Teach us all, preach your sins. Turn the cheek, let it slide. Give me 5 on the black hand side. The black hand side. Oh, black hand side. Black hand side. Oh, black hand side.
Pharaoh's a Navajo chief, the way you're making it rain. But never for a stripper with emotional pain. Do it despite the system nourishment for the brain. Cause rain, seed plus soil, eat fruits and grains. My hood told me, nigga, keep it simple and plain. So let me explain the game, break it down a couple of levels like Tetris. These youngers kill their own blood for a necklace. Leave slumped over the wheel of your Lexus. Smoke kush, wake up and eat breakfast. Like what the fuck you expect? A generation overly obsessed with mobsters. Our revolutionaries want Grammys and Oscars. Impossible. Fake auras and weak chakras. Making a mockery of the music to be pop stars. And they say I'm insane. Cause I see the remains of the whips and the chains. In my hood where it ain't all good. Peep the pain of a single mother, she's struggling. Young child slain. Give me 5 on the black hand side. Let's maintain like the Soul Train. And keep it moving together, I'm saying.
Open the door, let me in. Teach us all, preach your sins. Turn the cheek, let it slide.
Sounds of Pharaoh Monk featuring Styles P.
Black hand side.
That's the black hand side. We've got to play some tunes fitting of Black History Month. Conscious black music. Don't forget Pharaoh Monk will be in the gig guide. Find out where you can catch him in the gig guide. Alright, Sims Mode will post it up on the Saturday Soup page.
Yes, I will.
At Saturday Soup Show on Facebook. Like and share and like.
That's right.
Have you got any more? Have you got messages coming through up there on Facebook? You can hold about us on Facebook as well.
So happy birthday to Owen Hines.
Alright, so we've got to say a big happy birthday goes out to Owen Hines. Big shout out goes out to Owen Hines. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! We didn't even do the birthday shout outs today, and everybody celebrate. We didn't do that.
Do you want to do it quickly? Because I know you want to talk about your woo.
I do. I want to talk about the woo, man.
And then you had some TV recommendations or movies to watch.
Well, let's. Yeah, woo was the main ones. But before that, let's talk about Power first. We get into Power real quickly.
Okay, go on.
I'm still on Power.
All right.
So Power is progressing real nicely. I like how they're progressing the storyline. The last episode was phenomenal, man. I love how they're going with it, and I like the fact that Joe's original intro or theme tune is back as well. So
because they don't understand when you're sitting there getting ready, you've got your snacks or whatever.
I think they understand now. I think they understand.
So you get where I was coming from. Right.
So Joe is back. But my big TV recommendation right now is Wu-Tang: An American Saga, which is streaming on Hulu. But the episodes are also available on YouTube. That's Wu-Tang: An American Saga, which is a dramatization of the early lives and the early formation of the iconic hip-hop group, the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm loving it. I don't want to talk too much about it and give any spoilers, but all I'm going to say is that is my go-to TV.
So that's what you're recommending right now.
Wu-Tang: An American Saga.
Okay,
yes.
So I've got a recommendation because I don't know if you know, Film 4 are doing like a whole Black History Month of films.
Okay.
So on Tuesday the 22nd of October, I think it's at 12:45. The film is called Black Mother. Khalik Allah's experimental documentary explores his mother's homeland of Jamaica with a focus on the lives of the island's women.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it, but it's something that I saw advertised and I was like, I definitely want to watch that. See what it's about because it looks interesting from the trailer I saw. So yeah.
Following on from that, an interesting one I saw real quick on Netflix. Siez. Oh my gosh, what's he called now? Oh, memory blank. Siez Mendoz or something like that. So animation, Mexican Kung Fu. Animated Mexican Kung Fu.
Oh, right. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How often do you say animated Mexican Kung Fu?
Hardly.
Exactly. So that's on Netflix right about now. It's pretty cool. It's definitely very different. The storyline is not very original. It's the old classic, you killed my teacher, I must avenge my teacher. It's that kind of classic storyline. But the fact that it's animated and has Mexicans doing Kung Fu is different. So if you like animation and you like Kung Fu, then you should enjoy that.
All right, I'll check that out.
Also, the last one is El Camino, I believe it is, which is a film following on from the Breaking Bad series, the phenomenally successful Breaking Bad series. There's already one spin-off, which was Better Call Saul.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
Yeah, now there's this new one, which is a film, not a series, it's a film, which is also on Netflix, which tells the story of what happened to Jesse, who was one of the main characters in the original series. So we had the spin-off with Saul and Mike, so we know where they went on to, but we don't know what happened to Jesse. So El Camino, I believe it's called.
So I have a confession: I've never watched Breaking Bad.
Wow.
So I'm listening. I'm engaged.
You got a lot of catching up to do, man. A lot of catching up to do. So that's definitely one of my tips and ones to watch, especially for Breaking Bad fans. Most def.
Nice. So do you want to do the gig guide quickly?
El Camino. Yeah, I'm just looking at now on Netflix. It is El Camino, and I'm trying to find the Mexican martial arts one, just so I get the name right. Anyway, I think it says Mendez or something like that. CS something.
Okay.
CS something right now. CS something. Go on Netflix and look for CS something. Yeah. All right, gig guide.
Yeah, go ahead.
Goodness, we got so many gigs. All right, I'm just going to give you the names to look out for, and then you're going to have to go on the Saturday Soup Facebook page to get the gigs and the dates and all the details. One Nation's Remix Friday. The next one is November the 8th. The night of music, games, and karaoke upstairs at the Ritzy in Brixton. DJs on the night, yours truly, and guests from 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. Tickets are available on Eventbrite now. Got Soul each and every Sunday. We got that's at South Place Hotel in Moorgate in London.
Who's DJing?
Gigs. I don't know.
I can tell you.
Go on then. Go on.
I know. It is DJ Jazzy.
I thought so. So I got there before you. KSA and DJ Jazzy, this Sunday at South Place Hotel in Moorgate from 6 p.m. until midnight. Free entry all night. Angie Stone, Lisa Stansfield, Rose Windross of Soul to Soul, Raheem Devan. The Curly Treats Festival is back. The Courtney Pine featuring Omar and Rachel Fox. The Kingdom EP launch featuring the Kingdom Rodney P, Black Twang and Ty takes place on Tuesday the 29th of October at the O2 Academy in Islington. Tickets for that one available on Ticketmaster. Shalimar, Jazzy Jeff, Burner Boy, H-Town, Coffee and Chronics. Coffee is going to be at the Shepherd's Bush Empire on the 9th of November. Chronics and Coffee Sunday the 10th of November at the Arena in Birmingham. Eric Robertson and Chocolate. That's going to be big. Sample the Great, Tampa Braxton. That's going to be huge.
Oh my gosh.
Sample the Great, Tony Braxton, Moonchild is coming to the UK with 3 dates in Brighton, Manchester and London. Giggs is going to be on tour doing dates in Newcastle, Bristol, Birmingham and Bournemouth. Also Manchester and Nottingham. Crepton Conan gets loads of gigs, and there's also Janine. Here we go. Janine is going to be coming to the UK. I hope we haven't missed her. Janine is tonight. Tonight. Hold on, let me get. Am I getting the dates right? What's the date today?
Today's the 19th.
Yeah, tonight. Thank you. Saturday, the 19th tonight at the Birmingham O2 Institute, Janine. And then tomorrow at the London O2 Academy in Islington. Yeah, so tonight, Birmingham, Janine is going to be at the O2 Institute. Tomorrow, she's going to be at the London O2 Academy in Islington with support from Tisha Makeda and Tija. Janine. Big.
Yeah.
That is going to be huge. And that's your gig, guys. So go on Facebook, The Saturday Soup Show, at The Saturday Soup Show on Facebook. The gig guide will be posted. Is it there already, or are you going to post it?
No, I'm going to post it up after the show, so look out for it.
All right, cool. Go to Saturday Soup page on Facebook to get the full gig guide, all right? Right, 2 minutes left.
Where are we going?
Boy, I'm about to get into some woo. Am I free?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's say our salutations from now then, because we've got to sign off.
I know, right?
We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Big shout out to all the people who have logged on and listened in. Shout out to our guests, Karen Arthur.
Yes.
Samantha.
Yes.
And Mr. Proud and Gifted.
Yes.
Remember, hashtag Proud and Gifted. Yeah, hashtag Proud and Gifted.
Right.
Or at Proud and Gifted with your positive stories about black young people. And that's it. Big shout out to Jarzino for helping with the technicals and the monitoring and all of that today. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Check us out on Insta, Twitter and Facebook. Like and share. Follow us on Insta, Twitter and Facebook. It's all Saturday Soup Show, all right? Yep. Across all platforms, Saturday Soup Show. Same across all platforms. Get connected, all right? That is it. I'm going to end with some woo. Hold tight, ground body P up there in Wolves. We're out, people. Peace.
Yeah. As we return to the 36 chambers, the RZA, the Jizza, the old dirty Bizza, Ugar Chef, the Ghostface Killer, and Meth, Rebel Eye Soldier for the foreclosure. Don't forget about the master. Yo, it's home with my coat.